Hi, I don't know if anybody is here. Oh my goodness. And I need to invite Pat. This is so crazy. Invite a guest. Okay, I am copying this to invite. No, but he should just be able to come in. Let me see 1 second, guys. This is so crazy. I am trying to share this with Pat. He should be able to just enter the studio. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, this is ridiculous. God, they're so worried. They share the clips. They're so worried that we are going to possibly share with other people. Amazing. Sorry, I'm making sure that Pat gets back in here. 1 second. 1 second.
Hello. Do we have a link to put out? Should we share a link?
Oh yeah, you want to share it out because do you mind doing it?
I don't mind.
Hey, we're back.
How do I find the link here? Let me see.
Oh, that's what you needed me to send you is the link. I couldn't do that. Wait 1 second. Sorry, okay, you guys. This is so ridiculous. Are you doing that?
Yep.
You're going to there. Oh my goodness. Well, we were done with him anyway. That teaches us. Yeah, thank you.
Create post.
Lame. And we hadn't even gotten to, I saw right before we left that somebody had done a super chat and I don't know who it was and I'm so sorry, but thank you. Whatever link is there is working, Steven says. Thank you, Steven. That's ridiculous. But anyway, all right, thank you. Okay, we were about to move on anyway, so let me get that wheel back up. Thank you all for bearing with this. What a ridiculous way to treat fellow journalists, Tucker.
God damn it. It won't let me share it either. What's going on here?
All right, well, let's spin and show something, and I'll see if I can handle it on my end. Okay, we're spinning. There we go. ABAB. Real. And while you're finding the ABAB, I will just answer a couple of questions because I see
I'm posting the link.
Okay.
It's coming. Just a second, guys. Sorry.
Thank you. We will thank Citizen Medejo for his super chat when he comes back on. Thank you very much. The runs, our 2 strikes were removed because it was fair use. It just took a while for them to, the reason that so last week when we were talking about the Olympics, right away after our show, the show was blocked and taken down. I could have very quickly edited out those segments, but then we would have had to put up a whole new show and then it would have had fewer viewers and then it messes with the algorithm. So I had to wait for them to cut it out. We also could have done a fair use thing, but that can take months. But anyway, our strikes are gone, which is really good. Thank you for asking. And okay, everybody back. Yes. I don't know why people are thanking you, Pat.
I'm the hero here.
What? Why is Pat the one to thank?
Oh, wait, come on.
Oh my God. Okay, well, this is the one good thing about them giving us only one space for all of our graphics, because if we had to reload everything, that would have been kind of funny. Okay, ABAB. We got an ABAB.
ABAB, since we're talking about censorship now, here's piece of shit Musk is our focal point here with AIPAC.
Do it. Okay.
I'm outside of Elon Musk's Tesla building, and business has not been going well for him. He has no customers, but he does have this projector that says he wanted to be on the island. He's got some protesters outside, as well as a blow-up doing a salute outside of his front door. Oh, and the power to his sign is literally out. Let's hunt down and kidnap Elon Musk. He's got no fucking chance against 1 million of us.
Just a song, folks.
Take him to a cave down in West Virginia, shoot parts in his face from a woman named Linda. Let's hunt down and
That's awesome. Sorry.
Let's shoot farts in his face from a woman named Linda. That's my new favorite phrase of the week.
Wait, say it again because I wasn't paying attention.
He says, let's kidnap Elon Musk. No. These are lyrics. Don't kick me off Twitter.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're going to go black again.
And then he says, let's shoot farts in his mouth from a woman named Linda. I know. I'm a child.
That's a good folk song. That's a good one.
All right.
Catchy. All right. Let's move on to our Trump tariffs struck down by the Trump Supreme Court, which was a big shock to Trump. Obviously, the big business people, the Federalist Society and all that who put them there, I'm sure weighed heavily in their decision. The White House put this out. Keep calm and tariff on. They now have an across the board 10% tariff on every country. The way obviously that Trump was using tariffs to have people, that's where the whole No Kings Act came from. They don't want big businesses and other countries doing the will of just a single solitary guy who can hand out the percent tariffs that he's going to put on countries without going through Congress, which is supposed to control the purse strings.
Right.
And then the last point, and then you should say what you want to say, is that Kavanaugh, in his dissent, said that basically now the United States may be required to refund billions of dollars to importers who paid the IEPA tariffs, even though some importers may have already passed on costs to consumers or others, as was acknowledged at oral argument. So basically what's going to happen is all of these companies are going to sue the US government for lost revenue, even though they all hiked up their prices. And we all, the consumers, had to pay that. They will get bailed out for that. And it all works out beautifully for the people in power.
Double dipping from us as consumers for this fuck up. And I just got to give a extra fuck you to the Supreme Court for this one, because
they waited.
They have the power. Yeah, they waited for this to be enacted for how many months now? 6 months, basically, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. So when was Liberation Day?
Look, I understand the need for you prepare a case from the other side, but this was so egregiously, obviously a violation of the law that you should have enacted the injunction against the tariffs until the government can prove their case, instead of the reverse. And then we don't get in this situation where now what do we do with what happened for the last 6 months? And the government's going to get sued. They're going to lose 70% of their cases, probably. I'm making that number up, but they're going to lose most of them.
We're going to be on the hook for all of it, is what's going to happen. We're going to be on the hook for all of it. Trump railed against it. I don't know how many tweets he sent out, but he basically wants to be able to have the power to destroy any business, any country he wants, or at least to threaten them. This was his tirade after the decision came out.
But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1. Because that's not what it says. And that's not the way it even reads. I can do anything I want to do to them, but I can't charge any money. So I'm allowed to destroy the country, but I can't charge them a little fee. I could give them a little 2-cent fee, but I cannot charge under any circumstances. I cannot charge them anything. Think of that. How ridiculous is that? I'm allowed to embargo them. I'm allowed to tell them you can't do business in the United States anymore. We want you out of here. But if I want to charge them $10, I can't do that. It's incorrect. Their decision's incorrect. But it doesn't matter because We have very powerful alternatives that have been approved by this decision. You know, they've been approved by the decision.
They have not been approved, first off. They have not been approved, and the powers that he has to set tariffs they all expire within 6 months and need Congress's approval. So, you know, he couldn't do what he can't do what he wants. And yes, you have a lot of powers as president, but our republic was set up for checks and powers and division of powers. So just because you have one power in one area, the correlation of this is ridiculous.
Absolutely. And calling it an emergency. I mean, that's what it was based on, was an emergency situation that he needed
based
to
on the drugs.
The
drugs were the excuse for this. This whole thing was our national security based on drugs coming in, and we need to. The argument was ridiculous. The fact that 2 people supported his argument is kind of amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind
they're
of
so
amazing.
Clearly anti-constitutional, they're just, you know, dictating from the bench political beliefs. They're just MAGA clones, because there's no justification under the law. Like, it's so fucking clear cut on this.
It's so fucking clear. And again, it is such a dereliction that it took this long for there to be any injunction or, you know, guardrail put up against this at all. The putz to his left there, Howard Lutnik, who was sort of the guy who came up with this idea of being able to do these tariffs, put his 2 sons in charge of his company, Cantor Fitzgerald. At Cantor Fitzgerald, they were betting that the Supreme Court was going to make this decision and the tariffs would be struck. So they're going to make billions of dollars
interest off of this on the money or something. I forget, but somehow they bet
it's
against
like short selling. It's like the big short.
They shorted it basically against what Lutnik was going on TV saying, oh, these are going to the Supreme Court is going to absolutely uphold these tariffs.
That's
while he was betting behind the scenes via his kids that they would not, because they knew they would not.
Yep. And
he needs to go. I mean, I know we don't want to, you know, prison. The wall is a good place for that guy. The wall.
He is so disgusting. And what this did, so just again, as a reminder, he was sort of the mastermind, or one of them, behind this idea that Trump could just use emergency powers to randomly assign tariffs to different countries, to make them grovel to different companies under this emergency jurisdiction. And at the same time, his kids at Lutnik's own company, he handed over the reins of power of Cantor Fitzgerald to them, were betting that this was going to be struck down and advising clients that way. They will make billions of dollars off of this. And
don't forget, Lutnik was the one we just covered who said, my family, we met with, met him
once in 2005.
We said, we'll never be in the same room with him, a la Mike Pence and like a female.
Right.
We'll never be in the same room. Then there's emails of him going to the island to have breakfast with his wife and kids, the kids that are now getting rich along with him.
Yeah. What it also did is make a lot of people, myself included, go down the 9/11 rabbit hole, where Lutnik and his sister, who were both supposed to be at work in the Twin Towers that day, somehow didn't show up. And then he made millions of dollars that were supposed to go to his own families, the families who worked at Cantor Fitzgerald. I think 700 of his employees died. And he even managed to do some snake oil petition so that quite a bit of the chunk that was given to Cantor Fitzgerald for victims actually went to him because of the profit loss of Cantor Fitzgerald for losing so many employees on that day. And when Trump was talking about 9/11 just this past week and said something about how lucky Howard was that he wasn't there because for the first time ever, his wife said, you got to take your son to the first day of kindergarten. And Howard's like laughing in the back as he's talking about 9/11, where whether or not you're involved, like people were slaughtered, 3,000 people. He's laughing. Trump is saying because his wife said, finally, you got to take your kid to the first day of kindergarten. And apparently there was no New York school that had September 11th as its first day of kindergarten. That I have not verified. I am just putting that in there. But anyway, the way he conducted himself in the aftermath of 700 of his employees being killed that day was repugnant, evil.
Yes, and that clip where Trump is turning to him when they're giving a presser in the Oval Office, Lutnik's on his right, but the left on screen. Trump is just riffing and bringing up, oh, it's crazy that you survived 9/11, and and he brings all this up like for the first time he decided to give your kids a ride to school. Isn't that crazy? And they're both just cackling like this is an inside joke to them. Like it's crazy. And no matter what conspiracy things you can add to this or not, the fact that he lost all his coworkers and miraculously survived this day, and he can laugh about it like that. I mean, I know we can make 9/11 jokes, not appropriate still, but
right.
Like we can laugh about it, sort of, but like, how close is he to this situation to laugh like that in the White House and cackle? And it's just, the evil is on display, people.
I mean, it is really hard not to think that he has, I mean, that it's an inside joke. And that's the other thing, Reflect the Sun. There were finance firms that also shorted airline stocks. I mean, people actually made millions of dollars off of this, and nobody has paid a price for it at all, except for, all the people who were killed and the first responders and the people who have health conditions. I mean, like everybody who actually suffered has never gotten justice. And these people are giggling about the money they made, whether it was just off of the insurance claims or getting to start new wars, and Halliburton gets to make a few $1 billion more on government contracts. I mean, there's like no bottom to the level of their evil. And it's all just money. That's all they care about. Money and power.
There isn't, which is why I keep saying we got to revolt now, people, because they are so openly evil and wrong on all this shit. And then if we wait a couple years, we'll have people in place that are slicker at it, less overtly evil, less in your face about all this stuff. And it's going to diffuse any energy we have to do this, which right now, this is, yes, we can get more evil. We will get more evil in the next few years, but 2028 will be the reaction publicly to the evil. So it'll look better for sure.
And people will want to break. They'll want to believe that, Gavin Newsom is better. Citizen Mendejo, we didn't get to thank you before our stream was shut down. So we don't have the super chat that you had done before, but thank you. We just want to make sure that we got to thank you in case we get blacked out again. And
it was your comment that did it, dude. Your comment.
I don't even know what the comment was. We didn't see it. And thank you.
I know, Justin, I lost it too. God damn it.
For the Punch Up 5 memberships. I'm hoping that we'll be able to find it when we scroll back. Cheers. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I know. I mean, everything is moving so fast and they are doing so much damage. It's like a fire sale. 25 years. It is unbelievable. Thank you. Yes. Reminder, please hit that like and subscribe button and notification bell, because you never know when we'll be taking off. I don't know, Pat, you are spitting truths here. Preach it.
Preach.
Pat is right.
The gospel.
Okay. Let me see.
All right, let's pause. I think we should put the wheel up and regroup because we're a little shaken on.
I know. Can you tell?
Off and
my brain
us
is
out of sync a little bit. So
do you don't want to just finish up the tariff thing really fast because we only?
All
right.
No. If we were close to
I think we're pretty close, right? Because
let's roll.
Yeah. Okay. Just a couple more things because then there is a lot to talk about on the other stuff. Okay. So Pritzker is now trying to sue the government for $8.6 billion, which, by the way, would give $1,700 back for every household in Illinois. But, when you think about how quickly that goes, if you are already in debt, like what this would be a major windfall for any lawyers doing this. I mean, and also it feels a little bit Gavin Newsom-y, like we're making a show of our doing this, but also who pays that money? We pay that money. It's like when, police are charged with misbehavior, right? And like who pays for that legal
and
work,
especially
right?
you who lives in LA.
That's the lawsuits
against LA is a massive part of the actual budget that could be. I mean, Karen Bass is out like filling potholes this week because it's election time.
Yeah.
Right. So she's starting to get ready. Like, look, here I am. I filled some potholes. And even the local TV is like, they're interviewing her. They're like, you filled like 0.1% of the potholes. And then she blames, because people don't contribute enough budget to it. Well, you give all your budget to the police and your police are so corrupt that they rip more money from the budget than they even should. Like
a huge amount of police budget is overtime. And we saw like during the fires, which by the way, the fire chief, there's exposed emails that show that they were trying to protect her for her poor response to the wildfires last year. But overtime with the cops just like standing on the side of the PCH doing nothing, raking in overtime. But the other part is paying off lawsuits because they are constantly getting sued for horrific behavior. So that's our money. So like they get it from us any which way.
And for those evil fucks to be making $200,000-$300,000 in LA off police work and overtime and gigs related.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Holy
fuck.
Disgusting.
Okay. So really quickly, just the last couple things. The trade deficit is still huge. So it turns out that those, punitive tariffs didn't even change the trade deficit that we have, maybe because we manufacture almost nothing here except for war and, AI data centers. But this is the other thing. Thanks. Thank you. Yes, please do. So years ago, Trump would do this thing where he would call it like in the 80s. He would call in to different news shows, radio shows, pretending to be either his own publicist or another guy, John Barron. And there was an expose on all this. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's not him.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that because of the C-SPAN note?
Yeah. Do you think it's him? Do you have some evidence? I saw afterwards.
I have a little.
Okay, because
I do.
Okay.
So I'm just setting that up that he was known, and like CNN did a whole compilation, which we have, but I know we're kind of running late. But anyway, of all the different times that he would call in pretending to be somebody else, and they knew in the end that it was Trump making these calls on his own behalf, pretending to be somebody else. This call came into C-SPAN, I think yesterday, or what's today? Sunday? Yeah, maybe Friday. John Barron calling into C-SPAN. This is a shorter call.
John in Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you.
Well, this is John Barron, and this is the worst decision you've ever had in your life, practically. Jack's going to agree with me, right? But this is a terrible decision, and you have Hakeem Jeffries, he's a dope, and you have Chuck Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. Of course these people are happy. But true Americans will not be happy. And you have the woman earlier, I assume she's a woman, she's a Democrat, but she said she's disgraced. She's devastated.
All right,
by
John.
this.
We'll go to Chester, who's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Democratic caller.
Okay. So a lot of people, because of the 3-minute clip, should we show it or not? Of all the different other times, just to show that he did. No, you believe me. That's fine. Maybe we'll.
Oh no, I know for sure that he did.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, we can show it out another time. It's fine. So CNN puts out or C-SPAN puts out this explainer saying, because so many of you are talking about Friday's C-SPAN caller who identified himself as John Barron. We want to put this to rest. It was not the president. The call came from a Central Virginia phone number and came while the president was in a widely covered in-person White House meeting with the governors. Tune into C-SPAN for the actual president at the State of the Union address on Tuesday night. But then the internet sleuth got his actual activity log from the day. The end of his public remarks and the press questions and answering was at 2:06. Post briefing, Trump was in the Oval Office finalizing his 10% global tariff proclamation, which our dear listeners and viewers have told us has already jumped to 15%. The Oval Office time, this period was designated for private signing and coordination with his trade team, including Secretary Lutnik and Trade Representative Greer, and his next public appearance wasn't until the evening. So that actually gives him a window of time where it could have been him calling. Listen, I have no idea. It is so easy to, to mimic his accent, his voice, his whole demeanor. But I just think it's funny that he's such an embarrassment that the whole country is looking like, it's probably just Trump calling in, acting like he's somebody else.
Well, look, and that's what that clip that we're not showing shows. He did it a million times.
Yeah.
Sorry. So he did for sure do this a million times. I think it's unlikely it's him at this point, but
yeah, I think he would just call as himself. Like, he doesn't care.
Yeah. But could he? I mean, I don't know. He could have, you could easily spoof your address to look like you're in West Virginia or whatever. That's that part is not,
Yeah, because it didn't say. I think it said that where the phone had been registered, not where the call was actually coming from. Whatever. Yeah, honestly, I think everybody wants to humiliate him further. I think he's incapable of being humiliated. Like, he has no shame. But it's just it's like another example of how widely disliked he is, how much contempt this whole country has for him, that's what's making the rounds. Like, you're such an embarrassment. You've lost on everything except for bilking us all out of, a truly dignified existence.
There's really no support left for him. I mean, it's the diehard MAGAs. It's the people that just want to be fucking so racist, and he's giving them leeway. There's the people that want to just be so crass and ditch this PC left stuff, the groypers and whatnot.
Right.
Like, so the whole campaign is basically down to that. It's like appealing to them, because if his numbers drop to like 20% support, I mean, to break through the cognitive dissonance, like the way people just buy into left and right, to break through and have a Republican number so low that it's 30% is really amazingly bad.
Yeah.
So like, he doesn't have
3 more years
support left.
Yeah.
No. And like I said, the minute he put the tariffs in, I mean, look, honestly, these tariffs getting pulled is probably the best thing that could happen to his campaign. I mean, not campaign, but like his legacy or his
like standing in the public,
the Republicans in a way, because the economic harm that they were going to cause.
I mean, there's already been
really the dumbest thing economically on earth.
Yep.
So the fact that that's getting limited somewhat is good for our country economically.
It is. And also, there's not been anything that isn't self-induced that's happened under this regime yet, right? Like, there has not been, a horrific hurricane or wildfires or some awful, out of his control sort of situation that he's had to handle that would make him plummet even further. It's all been self-induced.
Throwing out paper towels to people.
Yeah.
You get paper towels.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was horrific. All right. Let's spin before we move on. Yeah, sorry guys. The what did I just do? The having to reset up a show midstream threw me for a second. I need another glass of wine is what I need. All right.
I need a beer, so we're showing a clip. We're showing a decently long clip for the other beer. We're all just.
But it looks like a drink and music.
Close enough. We'll go with RMI. Let's see we got Lindsay Lab. This is a good song. I appreciate this.
Every day them get up and look on the TV, them read the newspaper, them want to see the truth. But them can't see the truth because the truth will not be found there. That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
They're killing people in the streets. The Epstein files were just released, kind of. We are starving while they feast. But never mind that, never mind that. Accidentally watched somebody die. Saw another losing eye. Kinda makes you wonder why. But never mind that, never mind that. Sure, just go to work, just go to church, pretend it don't hurt. It's cool, just go to school, just be a tool, play by the rules. It's fine, don't lose your mind, just stay in line, and you'll find you can be sweet. Don't make a peep, start counting sheep, and go to sleep. Took away your benefits on Snap, lowered your wages and raised your tax. Unless you're a billionaire, it's clear they want us on our backs. But never mind that, never mind that. They're drilling on protected lands. They've got bloodstains on their hands. This was all part of their plan. But never mind that, never mind that. What's done is done. Just feed your son. Don't be the one to wield the gun. Go home, scroll on your phone, numb to the bone. You should have known. It's fine, don't lose your mind, just stay in line, and you'll find you can be sweet. Accept defeat, don't make a peep, you little sheep. Oh, what more is there to say? It's the American way. It's the price we've gotta pay. But never mind that, never mind that. They're killing people in the streets. They're killing people in the streets. They're killing people in the streets. But never mind that, never mind.
That's really beautiful. I know, man. When I was younger, I used to be sort of jealous of the 60s and 70s and all the great revolutionary music. And like, why didn't we have any of that? And then it's like, well, now we have enough pain in the world that it's back. And the pain was always there. It just wasn't affecting us as much. But it's sort of that, like, it's the, I guess the silver lining to the horrors is that the revolutionary spirit is back. Lindsay Lab, right?
Yeah, on Instagram. That's where
on Instagram.
Yeah, and I think it's just the pain is there for enough people. I mean, a lot of people just are looking for what they can contribute, and so if you're a musician, yeah, get involved.
Yeah,
put out some music, but there's an audience for it. Like, not that she's not doing this for money.
No, right.
But there's people will appreciate it. So let's go.
Lindsay is Lynzy. Lindsay, Lynzy Lab. Yeah.
LAB. B as in Bravo.
Yeah, sorry, LAB. Yeah. We're not getting to any of the Berlinale stuff or the Olympics, but two just quick updates there are quite a few people who have been receiving awards at Berlinale who have gone on to speak out about Gaza and Palestinians and Israel's treatment of them, and also that Swiss commentator at the Olympics who did the color commentary about the Israeli bobsled team. Yeah.
Amazing.
They are standing by him, which is wonderful. And that Israeli bobsleigh team had to withdraw from the Olympics because they lied about injuries. Disqualified. Israel disqualified its own Olympic bobsleigh team for lying to officials. The team tried to let Ward Fawarsa, an alternate, compete by faking another member's medical exam. Olympic Committee of Israel says, calling behavior against fair and sportsmanlike conduct. And now that I'm looking at the man's name, I'm wondering if this isn't another anti-Palestinian action taken by Israel. I have no idea, but I don't know. I should look into that a little more. I just want, you know, anything that can make them feel an ounce of shame is helpful.
Yeah, but kudos to that announcer. Obviously, you know, the hypocrisy of the Olympic Committee saying that representatives from Russia have to meet non-political agenda. They can't, because of Ukraine. So there's very few Russian athletes competing. But then this guy and Israel just gets to go do their fucking thing and with patches everywhere. And so he just, all he did was point out the guy's actual words and records. He did say genocide in Palestine.
And he said, as has been labeled by, I think, 86% of genocide scholars and human rights groups. And then he also quoted some of the horrific statements that athlete had made while he was, killing Palestinians.
Absolutely. And do you want commentary devoid of anything political on these events? I understand, like, let athletes compete at all, but like it's just the next level of censorship to not let somebody reporting on this mention something that people are very in tune to on their own.
Yep.
Like, and I don't know. I mean, but them standing with him, good for them. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Moving on. I needed my social lubricant. Thank you all for your nice words. Okay. Let's just talk a little bit about the polls that are coming out right now, because as we said, Trump is flailing. He's doing horrifically on every single one of the policies that he ran on. Inflation, tariffs, U.S. relations with other countries, immigration, economy, immigration situation at the U.S. border somehow is the one he's doing best on at 50%. Everything else he is massively underwater on, as well as the regime change colonial efforts that the State Department and Trump are working towards. Most of the public, U.S. overall, 54% are opposed to his imperialist, regime change wars. Democrats disapprove at 85%, independents at 57%, Republicans, I mean, wild, but only at 21%. But anyway, he is underwater on every single policy. His approval rating is in the toilet, and the only people who are doing worse than Republicans in this country are Democrats. I mean, it is just unbelievable. Like, whom do you trust to do a better job handling the country's main problems? And this group of people who were polled says they trust Trump, 33%, and Democrats in Congress, 31%. Whom do you trust to reduce the cost of living? Trump, 32%. Democrats in Congress, 31%. Immigration, Trump, 38%. Democrats in Congress, 34%. So that's where the Democrats have landed with this absolute shit show of an administration that they are supposed to be in opposition to. That is how well they are doing according to the country.
If you can't do better than the guy doing the worst historically on all the issues he ran on, I mean, that Democrats are going to win the midterms. That part is baked into this whole equation, right?
Right.
Pretty much. But in 2028, you could absolutely have a Republican come in with these numbers right here.
Yep.
Which gets us back to the exact situation we're in right now. Not that a Democrat changes it either, but I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
But they're not offering anything. And the worse those numbers look for Trump, the worse Democrats are in public, because they're like, they don't want to stick their neck out and have a policy. Because they're like, those numbers are so bad, I don't need a policy.
Because they do not want to displease their donors. And I mean, the fact that he is, the fact that we're talking about the revolutionary music that was not popping up at the same frequency during Biden's run, even though he was committing a genocide, right? And wanting to close the border and killing people with COVID and bypassing EPA laws and all of that kind of stuff. But there is a heightened awareness of how evil and cruel our system is, seeing our own people being killed on the streets, yes. ICE, infiltrating all of our communities, terrorizing people. And the fact that Democrats still can't get behind as a group, a strong message. The fact that, AOC put out 3 more little thirst trap videos about her stance on Iran after coming back from Munich. And they all suck still. None of them has anything to do with the whole reason that she went there was to talk about a progressive economic plan in our foreign policies. And she's still all she says is, it's a horrific regime. They're killing their people. They don't have fair elections. But we can't just be going in and changing regimes without the approval of Congress. So it's like it's a procedural complaint.
Democrats use 2 tacks. They one is procedural with you got to get us on board with it.
Yeah.
And 2 is, oh, you're doing so badly in the world, Trump, that we can't get other countries to support this as well with us. It shouldn't just be us.
Right.
It should be everybody.
Right.
So, but you're basically saying the project is right. Like we should be going to war with Iran. That's the logical conclusion to how you're responding to the Republicans, which is why your numbers are in the absolute pisser as well, because the public doesn't support you on any of this
at all. And then she also made that comment about Maduro. She like that. All of a sudden, she's like, but they left Maduro's regime intact by leaving Delcy Rodriguez there. Like, what?
Trump chickened out again. He didn't do enough. He didn't do enough. AOC.
Yeah. Like that is so, and she's the left in our fakakta country here. Like that is who is supposed to be the progressive left. It's just like truly dismal. So there was a really funny moment. So we saw what happened in New Jersey with Analila Mejia, right? Where AIPAC put in all this money, dark money against, I can't remember the name, I can't remember the guy's name, that they were so mad that he said that some weapon should be conditional on, given to Israel should be conditional on, you guys, my brain, I'm really sorry, on Israel following US laws. So they got somebody in there. Then there was a lot of talk about what was happening in Chicago. There are a bunch of different dark money groups that are putting money into the race in Chicago. Elect Chicago Women is one of them. AIPAC, it's like a dark money super PAC. backing Melissa Bean and Laura Fine, uses a male vendor sharing identifying info with AIPAC Super PAC, United Democracy Project. UDP's phone vendor shares an address with Affordable Chicago Now, which backs Donna Miller. So they are trying to, put their thumb on the scale in the races in Chicago. And there are two right now that are garnering quite a bit of attention. One of which has Kat, I always say her name improperly. So I get Abugazala. Abugazala, Kat Abugazala, who's the most progressive. In this clip, there is also Laura Fine, who's one of the women mentioned in that article, the elect women. Of course, they always have to do the sort of tokenization and gender politics kind of stuff. And Daniel Biss is the one in the middle. So this is a candidate forum. And watch how they respond to these questions. This is humiliating.
Do you support Hakeem Jeffries' continued leadership of the House Democrats? Hold up your answers, please. Is AI-generated content truly art? All right. Thank you. Do you currently accept campaign contributions from AIPAC or from those that are longtime supporters of AIPAC? Would you vote to authorize further arms funding for Israel? Further arms funding. Would you vote? Would you continue to support further arms funding for Israel? Or otherwise posed, do you support the continued funding of Israel arms for Israel? What? Does that include the Iron Dome? It includes all of that. Okay. Can everyone just hold it up all at the same time? Great. Okay, thank you. Do you take donations from Trump supporters or Republican donors? Do you know how to create a social media reel?
That was humiliating. Like that is the worst display of lack of courage. Like at least hold your shit up with conviction. Like, yeah, I take AIPAC money and I believe Israel has a right to defend itself. Whom are you appealing to here with your sideways sign?
And that's where we're at. We're at post what the fucking public thinks, we're not really, but they think they can get through this, which is why they're going to try to avoid every candidate forum that ever comes up in the future. Yep. Like they're all allowed to say they don't take AIPAC money from AIPAC now, right? Because they can get it in other channels.
Yep.
That's the whole gig right now.
Elect women. The Elect Women Fund, right? Or whatever dark money super PAC. Unbelievable.
Hey man, but this week was really telling with like a lot of these came out this week of people just showing their asses at these forums.
And what that does is it gives people who actually have conviction a platform or a space to call them out. So this is the other one that we were talking about. This is Chicago. So that was District 9. This is Illinois District 7. And this is Annabelle Mendoza.
I'll never take a single penny from corporate PACs or AIPACs, not now, not ever. But I want to be very clear that there are candidates up here who are bought and sold. Melissa Conyers-Ervin is one of them. And I'll tell you right now, Melissa, you should resign from your post because you have been a horrible city treasurer. And on top of that, you also take AIPAC money, and you are not here to represent the interests of the people that are right before you. In addition to that, Jason Friedman didn't have the courage to show up. Guess what? He's getting AIPAC-aligned money as well. And, Anthony, I really like you, but I also know Michael and Carrie Sachs gave you $7,000, and they are some of AIPAC's biggest donors. So I want to know if you're going to return that money.
I'll get the chance to rebut.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a winning message right there.
Amen. And look, I didn't know who she was until yesterday when I watched these clips.
Yeah.
I watched
same.
some of the clips from this before. And after this, the incumbent who she's Conyers, was it Conyers? Is that, I get the name? I don't know. But she stands up and says, "You can bet your ass I live in this world and I'm not going to vote against my own interests," and that kind of thing.
Right.
And the other Democrat on the far left gets up and says, "I'm the only one here," and another black woman who says AIPAC money was spent against me, but they're basically shredding Conyers. And you're not, whatever arguments they had this debate before that moment.
Yeah.
Anyone in this room, she's cooked. And that's where our electoral politics are going. So you're going to get the fake Bernie crowd.
Right.
That's who the incumbents are going to become. They're going to become the fake anti-Israel. Like, they're not anti-Israel if you get them on questions, but if you ask them if they're taking AIPAC money, they're like, "I'm not going to take AIPAC money."
Nope, not taking AIPAC money. But Israel has the right to defend itself. And we're still going to pay for the Iron Dome.
The Iron Dome is defense.
October 7th was as bad as, the worst casualty terror. I mean, they have all of their lines and it's all disgusting. And so unless they can speak full-throatedly, and I think that's the other part of, obviously, I think we all are probably on the same page with AOC that, I think that her domestic economic policy knowledge is fairly in depth, and she speaks well about it. She's secure about it. She has not translated what it means to be a leftist into her foreign policy. Her foreign policy is just very typical military industrial complex. We should, we're the policemen of everywhere. We should be able to go where we want, but we do need congressional approval. But none of it is coming from a leftist perspective. So
no, and at best she gets her foreign policy from Bernie, who sucks on foreign policy.
Yeah. From Matt Duss. That's her guy. That was that was Bernie's guy. We have a few more people who just joined the super chat. So in case we are blacked out again, we just want to get to them quickly. Citizen Mendejo, thank you. Twitter is not a reflection of reality, but reality is a reflection of Twitter. People join X out of anger versus the system and Israel, eager to tear it down. Yeah, I agree. And I found a lot of leftists, a lot of great independent journalists on Twitter. And yeah, there's a lot of Drek also, but for right now, it is the hub where I do go, but I understand why people hate it. And thank you, Mendejo. Revolutionaries wait for Larry and Serg on a silver plate. I don't know exactly what that means, but thank you for another super chat. We appreciate it. Anthony Aguilar, I don't know if you were here earlier, friend of ours, but we mentioned you as we got blacked out of our first stream as we were talking about the Tucker Carlson, Mike Huckabee interview. And Mike Huckabee is spreading lies about you and your revelations about the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. So maybe you can sue him for all he's worth. But thank you for your super chat and for your work. Revolutionary Times call for revolutionary music and a revolutionary spirit. Hear, hear. Absolutely. Thank you. BDA, thank you for your super sticker. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Reflect the Sun. Thank you. Cheers. Oh, I have to refill my glass with all this cheersing. Thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it so much.
I got 2 beers going.
Oh my God. I know. I better just get my bottle here. All right. Wait a second. You guys, thank you. I think,
but on the revolutionary music, I wanted to point out something that what's changed is all this Instagram, music influencers that just are sort of lower level, whatever, not known very well. They're not singing anti-Trump songs or singing anti-government system, institutional, systemic kind of stuff. So like we are really looking at a 60s level awakening of young people.
Yes.
That's unprecedented. And that's not going to go away, but we have to act now still, because it's going to be harder to get older folks involved when we have a kind president, a kind.
Absolutely. Yeah, because also like people don't want to feel angry all the time. You know, that is exhausting. And so what happens is you get somebody like Joe Biden, who is a pathological liar, who is a racist, who's a rapist, who did a genocide, and people can be lulled into complacency because he's empathetic Joe. And whoever the next person who comes in will probably not be as flamboyantly, crassly disgusting as Trump. So even if it is somebody like a Mitt Romney, that will be enough to make like part of a critical mass go back to sleep. They will just be happy. What I thought was interesting in that poll that we showed about whom do you trust more, and even though the majority of the people who were polled were saying that not majority, but a plurality of the people said they trusted Trump more than Democrats on those three issues, a third of the people polled trusted neither. And those are the young people or the older people. I'm not young, but like there is an enormous number of us who know that it is systemic and it's not blue or red.
Amen.
Halal, thank you so much for your super sticker. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you to Jezen82 for your super sticker. Thank you.
All the stickers tonight.
I know, it's amazing, you guys. Cheers. Thank you so much. Many AIPAC tracker endorsed candidates are liberal Zionists. We have to be vigilant to research candidates' platforms. Absolutely. And they are getting away with such crafty BS in their statements. And we have to call them out on all of it. I mean, Zainab, you are doing tremendous work in your journalism. And if you are not yet following Zainab on social media, Twitter, and also Bullhorn Bulletin, you should please go support her because she's doing really tremendous work. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, so let's go back to these Democrats. Where are we? Okay, so going down to Texas, we have got Jasmine Crockett, who is now announcing that she's for Medicare for All. And there are hit pieces being taken out against her, calling her Genocide Jasmine. This website, Genocide Jasmine, criticizes Representative Crockett's record voting to send Israel $14 billion more in weapons after it had killed 34,000 plus Palestinians, voting in favor of the omnibus weeks ago that sent Israel $3.3 billion more and barred funding of UNRWA. And she went on an AIPAC affiliated trip. She is running, as we all know, against James, I think, Tallarico, who has gotten quite a bit of money from Miriam Adelson. So, you know, that stinks. That stinks. Now she is saying that she's pro Medicare for all, and that she's the only candidate who is Medicare for all.
Okay, first off, I can guarantee no matter what her policy is, she is not going to move the Medicare for all needle one iota. She's complete trash. This is a liar. Nonsense.
I mean, I've never heard her mention it before, ever. No. And, you know, we saw what happened with Chantel Brown, right? Like, didn't she become a Medicare for All sponsor? It's very easy to become a sponsor. Just put your name on something and then use that for your, you know, progressive bona fides and never do anything about it. You have to look at the whole history and who supports her. She's supported by billionaires. She's also, by the way, supported by a lot of Republicans. Republicans reportedly executed a coordinated plan to get Jasmine Crockett to run for U.S. Senate. They included Crockett in a July poll, showing her as the leading Democrat should she run. There was more reporting on this. This is from The Independent. GOP goaded Jasmine Crockett into running for Senate by promoting favorable polls. She was reportedly the GOP's preferred opponent in the 2026 Senate elections in Texas, but had not been considered as a potential contender in the race by her own party. So knowing who she takes money from, I think big tech she takes money from. I don't think that she has said no to corporate sponsors, right? You go to her website after her big announcement. This is probably going to be
the AI made website.
Well, yeah, that one we showed. Yeah, remember we showed a page from that on Wednesday or Thursday where it was like insert. Yeah, it said insert your campaign promise here or bulletin point here, and she had done like a sentence and then left up the part where her advisors or staff or whatever had told her like just complete this real fast and throw it up on your issues. Who cares about your issues?
Issues.
What are you running on? You're sass. Yeah. You're so sassy. But so here is her Senate priorities for healthcare. I'm fighting to guarantee healthcare to every American, lower the overall cost of healthcare, while also reducing negative health outcomes, especially in Texas, where we lead in the number of uninsured, including over 1 million children. I've been a proud co-sponsor of the Medicare for All Act to help the 5 million uninsured Texans obtain comprehensive healthcare coverage, eliminating premiums, deductibles, and copays so that you can get the healthcare you need when you need it, uncoupling healthcare. So all of this sounds really good. But what, like, she has not talked about this, as far as I know, ever, not once. So it's really difficult to take any of that seriously. And also because she says, I have been, and maybe this is just me and grammar, but she says, I have been a proud supporter of Medicare for All. Usually if you say that, you say for how long, right? I have been a supporter of Medicare for All for over a decade. I am vocally, I am adamant coming out against health insurance companies. There should be no middleman, like all of that kind of stuff. But she doesn't get into that. I have been a supporter. I don't even know what that means.
Well, yeah. And
oh, you are.
Oh, I thought you told me I was muted, so I unmuted. But
I didn't say that.
Never mind. Oh, regardless, look, whether so in 2023 she signed her co-sponsored the Medicare for All Act or whatever. 2023. But if it's not part of your platform, you're not lobbying and telling people about it, it's irrelevant. Like that's just like, hey, that's just getting cred to call me a progressive. Like it's fake. Yeah. It means nothing.
It
means nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, in California, we bring this up all the time. We literally grassroots got everybody to support the state version of Medicare for All in California.
Yep.
Got all these politicians to agree to it, to actually say they pledged their vote for it, and then they just killed the bill with some
technical, we can't put it on the floor.
So
because Gavin Newsom ran on single health payer, but then he got in and then did not want to sign it, obviously. So they could not embarrass him by having it be voted through, and then he'd have to veto it in order to appeal to his sponsors. That is so cool. We love that whole Washington gang. We actually, one of our first shows, we had them on with our red berets and everything. That's fantastic news. I didn't know that.
I love the whole Washington crew. I've met some in person, and we were at some, we were in front of Pelosi's house.
That's right.
Protesting Pelosi. Anyway, I love them. They're great.
Yeah, they're great.
And I support their effort, which is we don't care if we need politicians. We'll get ballot access.
Yep.
I support a ballot initiative for Medicare for All. I support it on a state level, like any.
Yep.
The
fight on all fronts.
I don't want to get into my beefs, but the
MMT
folks are very against
the state doing it by
state version of Medicare for All. I think it's a sabotage. It is not a sabotage effort against Medicare for All.
I agree. It's to show it's possible and to keep going, fight on all fronts. I also think it would be really interesting. We should have some MMT people on, because as the dollar
fades, and I agree with
from
MMT.
dominance,
yes.
I do. But as the dollar fades from dominance, MMT relies on the US having its own fiat currency that is the dominating currency of the whole world. And a lot of socialists actually think that MMT, even, if that persisted, that the dollar is the global monetary unit, that shows a huge lack of solidarity to all the other nations, that it hurts if we just get to print more money and use it how we want, right? So there are some rebuttals to it, but I am curious what their response would. I believe anyway, as I think we all do, that we have the money for it. Of course we do. We're always going to war. We always have money for that. We never ask where the money is going to come from. Of course we could do that.
Totally.
Budgets are moral documents and all of that stuff. I agree. Yeah. But that ability to just keep printing money when we are no longer the dominant currency.
Yep. 100%. And I agree 90% with the MMT folks. I think one of their criticisms that I've always beefed with a little bit is when people try to explain how we can pay for Medicare for all, for example. And if they don't bring up MMT folks are very mad that it's not relevant. But they're trying, when people want to get a policy across, they don't want to try to get people to buy a whole new system of how our economy and money system works to believe it. So you have to put it in terms people understand, which is that things cost money.
Right.
So it's difficult to say I agree with MMT, but I wouldn't evoke MMT if I was a congressional candidate necessarily, because then you have to get a whole nother level of
there's a whole layer that you have to to lay down there before you can get. Yes. I think just explaining budgets are moral documents and where are our priorities, and it should not be blowing up children in the Middle East or in Latin America. That is a disgusting way to use the money that we have, all of that. But yeah, I agree with you. Anthony, thank you for your super chat. Yeah, Mike Huckabee absolutely 100%. Did show his ass to the world stage as an Israel first, Zionist, genocide apologist. He is disgusting. And thank you for your super chat. Okay, so that is Crockett's website, even though I've never heard her talk about Medicare for all ever. This is Tallarico's, which is, oh my God, I'm going to have to get very close here. Allow every American, regardless of their age, to join Medicare. Provide an affordable, not-for-profit healthcare option for every American, while also bringing down costs for those who don't participate by increasing competition with private insurance. So, my worry there is that it's a little bit like the Pete Buttigieg Medicare for all who want it, because it doesn't work unless there's universal buy-in.
Yeah, and Medicare for all as it stands is not an allow-in kind of situation.
Right.
So it's give everybody it. Your doctors are still of your choice. So it's presenting the whole thing as if you want to fall back on the government program, you're allowed to.
Yeah.
Which is not what Medicare for all actually is. It is we get rid of the insurance agents between you and your care.
Exactly.
It is not that government takes over and owns the hospital down the street from you or something. It's not that.
So as soon as you take away the universality of a program or you add means testing to it, that is the kill switch in there. That it's destined to fail. And everybody who is in charge of making these policies or writing about these policies, they know that also. Which is why, to me, Elizabeth Warren is a joke also.
I was just going to say that, which is why we all turn on Warren, because she knew this. She knows this more than anyone.
Yep.
And, she pitched her alternative, which is you can be in it if you want. And then Buttigieg had his program. Yep. They were all fake Bernie programs that wouldn't have worked or would have made marginal increased benefits to the public, but not change the system, which is Obamacare, basically.
Yeah. Destined to fail. And prices go up. And, the one good thing that Kamala did in 2020 was when she was asked about Medicare for all and what do we do about the insurance companies, she was like, get rid of them, get rid of all of them. And then she had to walk that back right away.
And she's like, whoa,
yeah,
sorry.
I didn't mean that.
No one talk to me.
All right. We can go in so many other different ways. We have, it is amazing. So it looks like now Tallarico and Crockett are tied in the polls. Tallarico had his whole episode with Colbert that was scratched, which, it's very difficult to know who decided to scratch it. Now, people are saying it's because he's talked about what's happening in Gaza, and it's really hard for me to know because everybody's so dishonest, but they didn't show it. And then he ended up getting, I think, $2.5 million within the next few days after that happened, and a bump in the polls. Jasmine Crockett is now sort of calling him out on that. I just feel like neither one of them is my person. When he speaks, and I know this is just, a personal taste, it feels genuine to me because I don't think he's getting everything right. I'm not a religious person. I think that he is, a Medicare for all who wants it guy. So that's not my thing. But I think for him, it's authentic. With her, I just feel like everything's a clapback. Like nothing is coming from any sincere place. But that's just how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I can't vouch for him, but my gut says the same thing exactly.
Yeah,
I
Lila's right.
Yeah, I mean, she's just a clapbacker. She's a I'm gonna have this 5 minutes on the Congress on the floor interviewing some villain, and you're gonna get a clip, and you put that out, and I'm gonna have like 10 of those clips, and that's my campaign.
Yep.
And she's proven it by not offering policy.
I mean,
he seems legit. I mean, I don't love him. I hate the religious piece. I don't want to elect religious people to office, to be honest. Like, I just don't. But at least he expresses himself as being tied to what the religion pretends to be, which is helping the poor and the middle class. And he expresses the economic issues every time he talks.
Yes, and she doesn't. And also we know that she's in with like the crypto AI people. So like that to me, I mean, first of all, yes, anybody who supports Israel in any way, to me, that's disqualifying. 100% done. Like just keep going back to like, if genocide isn't your red line, then you're dead to me. I'm not showing up to vote for that. That's the whole thing of like, stay on the couch.
Yeah.
Now, I know that they are putting out now, I just saw Keith Ellison on a panel talking about how a lot of influencers, including, sports people, podcasters, whatever, they don't have to say where they get their money from. Their whole mission is basically to discourage people showing up to vote at all. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wins. It always stays the same. Nothing ever gets better. Your vote doesn't really matter anyway. They don't, they didn't even have a primary, and these people are all clowns or whatever it is. And that's the part where I have a really hard time, because personally, that's how I feel at this point. Like, that is how I feel. Nothing's changed for the better in my whole life. Not one thing. It's only gotten worse, no matter who's been in power. But if we completely discount electoral politics, then we are discounting being a democracy at all. So I feel like it's one tool in the shed that we should use if possible, but I will never vote for somebody who is evil.
I'm with you. You just can't think it's a solution to anything.
Yeah.
But you have to look at it as points for your team. Like, if we elect 10 allegedly progressive people into power who are going to bring the ruckus, and 9 of them don't, but one of them actually does, that exposes some shit that wouldn't have happened if we didn't elect those 10.
Right.
That doesn't mean we should give our money to these people.
Oh my God, I'm never again. Yeah.
Or campaign for them or whatever. But writing it off as like, I don't care because you're running as a Democrat or you're running as independent, I don't believe in that at all.
It's really hard not to totally like give up on electoral politics, but we have to have a target there who might possibly listen to us. Like it has to be something. It will.
But you also have to assume they're not going to, because you have to assume they're there to maybe expose some shit and maybe be an ally when we bring our shit to them because they're forced to do something. Because that's how we're going to change something. We're going to force them. The public is going to say, we're not buying, no one's shopping at Target. And if you want your Target donor to be happy,
right,
this policy has to happen, or, you know, whatever.
We have to be their excuse to do something that they said they were going to do in the first place. Which is why all the stuff about don't criticize Mamdani, he's doing so much more than anybody else has done. That's great. I love the things that he is doing, but we absolutely have to criticize him for all the things that he isn't. Oh my gosh, this is the comment I've been waiting for. Thank you.
Lila is way more right than me. Come on, people, give it to her. Give her some Lila's rights.
Okay, this is just because, you know, it is amazing to me that Newsom has had so many chances to explain himself. And he got it, you know, he did the whole, interesting, and trying to imply that, what is his name, Latham, was basically that, to me, he was trying to imply he's anti-Semitic. You're bringing that up? Interesting. It's interesting. Nobody's ever asked me about AIPAC before. It's interesting that you would ask that. It just felt very much like, you know.
Yeah, and to remind people, the outcome of that part where he was getting grilled on taking AIPAC money was he said himself, AIPAC is not the test for whether you support Israel, because on a state level, it's not even going to be AIPAC money mostly. That's what he said. He said, you're such a fool thinking it's just AIPAC money that bribes us for Israel. There's other areas.
Exactly. So keep that in mind as he's now getting, because I can't remember who the second one who he talked to was. Do you remember who he also kind of failed on it? I don't remember. But anyway, he's getting his third shot. And this is Midas touch, you know, the DNC front group posing as journalists, coming in to give him one more shot to get the answer right. Let's see how he does.
We got to get these special interest groups, these disproportionately powerful interest groups and lobbyists out of politics so we can make real progress for the American people. I want to list off some special interest groups, and will you say yes or no if you'll take money from them?
All right, let's go.
What about big oil?
Oh, seriously? You're talking to the wrong guy. Like literally big oil's number one enemy is me. So not a chance in hell.
Big tobacco.
And by the way, they're the polluted heart of this climate crisis. Big oil and the lies and the mistruths they've been perpetuating the American people and the global world and the globe are disgraceful.
Big tobacco.
No damn way. Yeah.
What about AIPAC?
AIPAC never have, no, and will never will.
Were you promised to fight back against these disproportionately powerful special interest groups that are hurting the American people?
Look, I think you follow the money. Every time something goes wrong, follow the money. I support it. I continue to support it. We've struggled with it, but public financing, we do this. We're constantly doing what we call clean money campaign. And we have to do more and better in that respect. But it's, you know, the revolving door, special interest and lobbying, all the self-dealing with stocks portfolios. I think we need to have some version of term limits for Congress. I mean, we have to be a reform-oriented party. And that's something in the past we were defending the status quo. Trump took advantage of that. Democratic Party needs to lean in. And when it comes to lobbying reform and it comes to these corporate special interests, we have to be much more aggressive. California is leading, but we still, with humility, have a lot more work to do, which I take responsibility to do more better.
We are working on an anti-corruption platform that we're calling Project 2029. So we're going to continue to weed out that corruption. California Governor Gavin Newsom, a young man in a hurry. Check out his book. Thank you so much, Governor. Genuinely means a lot.
Great to be with you. Thanks for coming out.
It gives me so much, like, I love seeing all of your comments. Yeah, totally. The Temu, Patrick Bateman, he's gross. Okay. Oh, are you
sorry? Yeah. I am so sorry. If you ever see a politician do the thumb thing, that is so unnatural. Nobody ever does this thumb thing in the real world. It's fake.
Wait, what thumb thing? What's he doing?
You know, where they grab their thumb and they do because they're not going to point, but they're doing this thing. No human on earth really uses that except for politicians. It's slick fakeness. But back to his core message. Oh, it's such a joke that you would think I would take oil money.
Yeah.
this motherfucker, he enabled all the drilling in California.
Yeah.
Like, who are we kidding? He's still protecting PG&E over the fires. All of our rates are up. And all PG&E people's rates are up because he didn't go after them for the fucking fire money.
Yep.
He's a piece of shit through and through.
He's gross. He's disgusting. And that also should be instructive on Midas touch. Their strike. Lucky strike.
Striking.
All right. What do you think?
I think our pets both said end the show.
It's time for dinner. Yeah. Before we actually go out, because we didn't really cover Epstein, you should just see this cracked us up so hard. This is somebody talking about Prince Andrew and what the security name for him was and how much they all despised him.
Prince Andrew have a nickname at that time?
Well, his official code, so if he was to come into the palace, he would his call sign was Purple 41. But he did have a nickname, but it's a bit rude for me to tell you one I'll tell you, but you're not going to be able to air it. It was just called, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
It was called the cunt. Plain and simple, because unfortunately he upset everyone he come across. He was the most unpopular member of the royal family while I was there, and he was just rude, arrogant. I mean, his sense of self-entitlement was breathtaking.
The cunt. We were going to call this the shit show, the cunt edition, but we thought if we weren't taken down because of the Tucker Carlson interview, the title might do it. But I love it.
Beautiful.
Lucky. So her name is Lucky, which is why people keep saying Lucky Strike.
Lucky Strike. I just got it. I'm slow.
Are you serious? You did not just get it.
I mean, honestly, yes,
Come
I
on.
did.
Come on.
Well, I got it seconds ago before this, but like literally tonight. Yes.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Can we stop
Sure.
saying
Anyway.
Pat is right about everything?
Come on.
I'm joking.
I have a cute cat.
Yes. And you are right about 49% of the things we say. All right. I love that nickname. More people should be called it. Spread it around. It's a great term, and it makes the right people really angry.
Which kind of brings us to our conclusion here with the OGT.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I want to get into all that, but like if you followed some of the anti-woke people who have been in our sphere before, and the drama breaking out there because they're selling out the gay and LGBT community, and it's pathetic. And I don't know. I side with the Feeney, if that tells you what I'm talking about.
Of course we side with the Feeney. And also, like, every marginalized group who gets thrown under the bus by the anti-woke, anti-climate, anti-COVID, Rage Against the War Machine crowd, who would rather partner up with the Boogaloo Boys than with their actual allies. And we saw that from the Rage Against the War Machine.
100%.
And that should have made everybody wake up right away. It was very clear.
I'm really happy to see JB leave that crew.
Yeah.
JB and Afeni have both been strong advocates for, mutual aid. They're out there working. They're a part of making change, not just the Rage Machine, the Jimmy Dore fucking wing of the party that wants to work with Nazis. And they don't make fun of marginalized communities. So good for them.
Like, there's so much to point to on some of the worst people in the world. Being gay with this particular person has nothing to do with why he is despicable. So why you would want to throw that in there, it's just a signal to a certain crowd that that's more important actually than the actual content of who that Fuentes person is.
Jokes and memes and a YouTube audience that caters to the right are more important than the marginalized community, is what you're saying. So not you.
And we saw
So
listen, Democrats did that the second. I mean, like that's what corporate Dems did. The second Biden lost, or what's her name, Kamala lost to Trump. The second time, they're like, look at that. Kamala went too woke. Can we use the R word now? And that's all they all wanted to do, was to be able to say the R word and the F word and show how anti-woke they are. And the problem with woke, as Democrats were using it, was that they weren't actually woke. They were using identity politics to divert people's attention from the fact that their economic policies are exactly the same as Republicans. So it's just a disgusting way to behave. I hate it. We've hated it. We talk about it all the time. We don't make allyships with racist, bigoted Nazis.
Amen. So our OGT is Sasha Allen, trans singer, bringing all the issues up in her song, in their song.
That's right. And we will be back on Wednesday. Thank you all. We love you guys. Keep punching up.
Cheers.
This song is about the images and stories coming out of immigration detention centers and how they really blatantly remind me of the Holocaust, and I don't understand how some people can't see that. Dog whistles that turn to even darker days where no one needs to whistle any longer. They can just say what they mean. And human beings, flesh and blood, let into cells and layered bunks, no longer seen as people and just necessary casualties. The elderly and middle-aged arrested for their family name. A 5-year-old who doesn't even know what's going on. 'Cause when brutality is patriotic, tyrants tend to claim their profits and bulldoze anyone who says they're wrong. And it oddly feels a little bit familiar. Does it make you wonder what you do when they say you'd better have your papers and they came for all your neighbors till there's no one left to speak for you?